Ladies and gentlemen, today is just going to be a short video comments about Kanye West and whatnot that some other people, Anthony Brian Logan and I think Brandon Tatum and some other people wanted me to put out a reaction to that and their listeners to do that. So I'm going to do that. See, the thing is, it's interesting when you study history and you look at what has happened before because history repeats itself, okay? That's what history does. It repeats itself, but it never copies anything. There is a difference. In the Soviet Union, accusations of mental illness, calling somebody crazy, incarcerating people who didn't think the right way, was one of the means that the organs of the state used to keep the population in line. Okay? Labeling someone crazy, essentially treating them as a heretic, treating them the way that the Catholic Church treated Galileo in times past, is an old trick that had a new life under communism. The Nazis, not so much into that. You would just be lined up and shot. But particularly in communist/socialist countries, this kind of accusation is a means of oppression, and it is a means of enslaving a population. In the Soviet Union, you had people were forcibly given drugs that would cause them extensive brain damage, that would force them to rattle off everything that they knew. They had drugs that you could give to a priest and they would rattle off every single confession they ever heard, and then they'd end up being a brain-dead vegetable. Sensory deprivation was used as a means of torture, in addition with physical beatings, humiliation, mock executions, and that type of thing. Now, we haven't seen the full range of these atrocities yet in the United States because socialists are trying to take over, but they haven't done that. But just imagine somebody like, Don Lemon and these idiots at CNN and some of the other commentators and people calling Mr. West, and I hate to even phrase this, a dumb Negro who can't read, absolutely abhorrent, who doesn't read or whatever. He reads very well. The man is a genius. He's a prodigy. Now, is he crazy, Kanye? No, he's an artist. Again, look at history. Look at interviews with Jim Morrison. Okay? Look at interviews with, Nivek Ogre or Kevin Ogilvy with Skinny Puppy. How some of those guys talk. Not to mention, or even Janis Joplin. I mean, there is a personality type that some of these musicians and artists have. They're nonlinear. That's all stream of consciousness. They're very emotional. See, that's the mojo that makes them artists. If West was to take low doses of Prexia or lithium or something like that and act like everybody else, his career's gone. The quote-unquote crazy is what makes him his money. That's where the music comes from. That's what makes, and I don't like rap or hip-hop. I really don't. Frankly, can't stand the stuff. But, that's what makes, the creativity come. That's what they do. And if you like socialism, all of your unique, interesting, colorful types of people, individuals who don't quite look at things the right way, people that are a little eccentric, that are heretical, that don't fit in, the odd ones out, the freaks, the losers, the crazy cat lady at the end of the town, the individual who might even be into witchcraft, that does herbal remedies for your problems that you talk to, lives down at the end of the road or in some, place out in the country or whatever. Those are the kind of people that are butchered and executed and tortured to death and thrown away in totalitarian countries. That is one of a world without people like that, or where people like that are too afraid to speak their mind or forced into blind conformity or slavery, is something that you will have if you vote for socialism and oppression in the United States of America. It can happen here. You know, the world has all different types of people in there, and Kanye's the exact polar opposite of me. I mean, I'm a left-brained, gear-headed, very literal, sort of an engineering type of individual. I mean, you can look at some of the other videos that I've done with some of the other exotic pets that I have and everything else, and you'll see that for yourself. But you have to appreciate that the human species has many different personality types within our ranks. It's what makes us adaptable. It's what's helped us evolve. And, to simply label someone crazy for political reasons is just one step closer to the gulag. Remember, there's a term called yet. You're eligible to. And if you continue to support socialism and continue to give these shock troops of the Democratic Party like Antifa, they're not the same as the Ku Klux Klan and the Democrats, but they're doing the same kind of job. They're fulfilling the same kind of role, namely intimidating and threatening and coercing people to vote for. See, the crazies and the fanatics, the extremists on the left, set the bar for what is acceptable to debate, and then all what somebody like Elizabeth Warren and all of them have to come do is just sound a little bit more reasonable, and they're in the middle and we can vote for them, and then you end up, and then they turn right around and they put these fanatics in power that they previously said were too extreme. If you want to live in a free country, you have to make sure that socialism and theocracy never gain a foothold in this country. No Sharia, no communism, no socialism, no fanaticism, no fundamentalism, no way, no how, not ever, and not here. Because remember, you're eligible too. Long live the Republic.